talk about Shonta and True in this last episode of Love After Lockup. But before I get into that, I want to talk about a recent live that Shonta recently did with True. And I think it was like the night of or the night after the last episode. And she was opening up about a lot of things. She spoke on her having lupus. And she claims that she was diagnosed back in 2008. And I guess she didn't want to scare True off, so she decided not to tell him. And she blames a lot of her behavior on her lupus flaring up. And that's why she was in the house all the time, she claims, when she was out in Cape with True. And I just don't understand, like, why not just tell the man, especially if this is something you've been suffering with since 2008. I feel like he would be more understanding. I mean, that still doesn't explain all her behaviors, but I definitely feel like there's something she should have been fully transparent with True about, knowing that he's someone that likes to be outside and all over the place, so he could fully understand what he was getting himself into. She also opened up about the fight with Shonta that I covered in my video exposing True. For those of you guys who watch my videos, we already knew about the fight. I shared a short clip from it in my Exposing True video. And Shonta claims that she was driving for a while. She realized somebody was following her. So she called her brother, had her brother meet her at the gas station. And then next thing you know, Shonta gets out of the car, approaches her, and they get to going back and forth. And then the other Shonta, not, Shonta, the girl that was at the gym, she ran up on Shonta allegedly, and she ended up on the ground. And then when she got on the ground, Shonta claims she stomped her out. And that's pretty much all she shared on that. Now let's talk about this episode. Okay, so True decides to sneak off with his sister and go to the gym and meet up with Shonta 2.0. And this is the girl that was exposing him in that video that I covered. And he meets up with her, and I guess this is a girl that was working with his sister at a hotel. True reveals that him and Shonta 2.0 got some history together. She started writing him, but she had a situationship at the time. She was still trying to get over her ex, so she was kind of trying to use True as a rebound, it sounds like. And she was upfront with True about that, and they started talking. But then I guess, I'm not sure, she went back to her ex or what ended up happening. Shonta 2.0 ended up just walking out of True's life and disappearing. So he started talking to Shonta, the one that he just broke up. Well, I guess at this time in the show, he was still with, and then he broke up with and got back together. And he said, look, this girl's been there for me. You weren't. And Shonta was like, look, I'm sorry I wasn't able to be what you needed me to be back then, but now I'm ready. I'm fully available. Let's make stuff happen. And she was hitting on True so much. She was talking about how his sweat smelled so good, how he was so hot, and True could not stop smiling. Like I said, we have never seen True smile like that around Shonta, at least so far in the episodes that they've shown us. And you could tell that he was really feeling Shonta 2.0. And he finally told her, like, look, I moved on. I got a different girl now. Even though his body language was saying something completely different. I'm just thinking that the sister really has to hate Shonta. She must have found something, Shonta 1.0. She must have found something out about her, or something must have ticked her off to where she's trying to get her brother to meet all these other women. Because at this point, it seems like she's trying to get him to be with anybody but Shonta 1.0. And True ends up leaving the gym. He goes back to the Airbnb. And of course, once Shonta asked him what he's been doing, he says, yeah, I went to the gym, I went to eat with my sister, but completely left out the fact that he met up with Shonta 2.0. And he admitted that Shonta 2.0 is more of his style, the kind of girl that he's been looking for, that likes to be outside, that has energy. Shonta was like, okay, well, I've been sitting here, I thought we were going to hang out, and I've just been up in this Airbnb the whole time, so it's time for me to go back home. She said she misses her daughters, she misses her grandbabies, it's time for her to pack up and leave. And True was like, all right. He didn't seem to bothered by the fact she was ready to leave. And she was like, so what does this mean for us? And True said, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not feeling this. And he called her straight out and read her to filth. He said, I feel like the real reason you didn't come to see me in prison is because you knew I wouldn't like how you looked or how you acted, and it would have cut things off sooner. And he told Shonta that he didn't want to be with her. But I feel like the main reason that he's making this decision now is because Shonta 2.0 is in the picture. If that's not the case, then why was he just telling Shonta an episode ago that he wanted to be with her? He just didn't want to be engaged to her anymore. And now he don't even want to be with her at all. And Shonta really didn't have much to say, and she claimed in her live that when she gets really upset, she'll start talking crazy, and True doesn't like how she talks to him disrespectful when she gets upset. So when she notices she's starting to get really triggered, she'll just remove herself from the situation to make sure stuff doesn't pop off. So she really didn't have anything to say. She went into the bathroom. True wouldn't stop knocking on the door. So finally she grabbed all her suitcases and she went and ran out to the car. And when she's out in the car, True's still following her. And it's like, man, you've already hurt this girl enough, and now you're gaslighting her and trying to make it seem like it's all her fault. He said, don't you feel like you used me? And she said, used you for what? And he said, my time. And I said, oh my God, that's a good one. That's the first time I've heard someone claim that someone used them for their time. I mean, but it is partially true. I mean, he was focusing on her when he could have been focusing on someone else if she just would have came and visited him. But at the same time, you took thousands and thousands of dollars from this woman. You let her give you all this jewelry, all this clothes, all this stuff. And so you used her too, financially. And he's like, well, look, I'm going to give you $1,000 back, which that don't even put a dent in what she spent on him. But I mean, I'm glad that he paid her partially back at least. And he said, look, I had this money for the car, and I bet if she knew that he had that money, then she probably would have been dropping as much money as she did. She probably felt stupid realizing that this man has thousands saved up for a car. Meanwhile, she's going broke taking care of this man just for him to turn around and leave her. So she ends up saying, like, whatever. She drove off. And she was crying so hard. She was so devastated. I actually felt bad for her for a moment. But then I was like, you know what? After she went through all this with this man, she turned around and took him back. Then got pregnant with him. Then had another girl that he was messing with pull up on her, and follow her and meet up with her at a gas station and fight her while she was pregnant. And, she ended up miscarrying after that fight. And I initially thought she miscarried because of the fight, but I guess it was due to her lupus. And she ends up doing all this over True. And then she turns around and gets pregnant by him again. And he finally posted a picture of her baby belly the other day. And she was talking about the other day, like she needs, I can't remember what it was. She needed some kind of baby thing, saying that the baby's about to come any day now. And she didn't specify what baby she was talking about. But by the looks of this picture, it sounds like it could be possibly her. Like she's probably towards the tail end of her pregnancy. I'm not sure how far along she is. I just know she's pregnant, and her and True are planning to get married soon. I mean, they're already engaged, and their wedding's like supposed to be coming up in the next few months. But yeah, I can't believe after everything we've seen that they're back together now. He better not be having her crying again like he had her on this TV show. I don't know, maybe it's one of those things that you don't know what you have until it's gone. Or maybe he realized that Shonta was the perfect type of girl for him because he can get all the benefits of being with a girl, yet he can go out and be outside and do all this stuff because she's always home and has no energy, and still live like a single man. That's almost what I wonder. Like, I wonder if he's like chilled out and settled down yet, because in their lives, it looks like they've been spending a lot of time together recently. I really wonder how Shonta feels now watching this and seeing him at the gym with Shonta 2.0 and how her relationship with his sister is now. Because, I mean, after seeing that, I would think there'd be no coming back from that. That would be an awkward Thanksgiving to sit next to his sister, across from his sister, after seeing that she was trying to set him up with all kinds of other random girls. She wasn't willing to talk about her feelings seeing Shonta 2.0 on the TV screen because she claims she's a stalker and she doesn't want to give her any more attention. And I was told that Shonta 2.0 was served a cease and desist from WeTV after my first video came out exposing True. And I'm not sure if they're planning on bringing her back for another episode, but Shonta claimed that WeTV called her the other day and said that Shonta 2.0 will not be returning. So I don't know if they decided to cut out her footage after that, or if they didn't have any more footage as is. But I do know that Shonta 2.0 and True definitely did some things and were hooking up, and she got pregnant, even thought he was the daddy at one point. And I'm not sure if she ever found out who the daddy was, but it's just a lot with these two. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Check out my lashes at AccordingtoAmber.com. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much.